She told me her name was Tanya. She said she lived in LA like me and that she was 24. Her picture was cute, as was her personality. We met online and things were going pretty well. That first night we chatted and flirted for 3 hours straight. I thought I had found something with her. Her picture was of a young woman with light brown skin and chocolate brown eyes. She had a smile that would knock the wind out of you. Tanya. But the thing is, I've been burned by people online before, so I tend to tread carefully. I'm a little ashamed to admit this, but I sort of catfished her. I sent her a picture, but it wasn't me. I found it on Google Images and uploaded it. She told me I looked pretty cute. Back and forth we went, sending pictures, building up this relationship. But the entire time I realized I was doing the very thing people had done to me before. I was torn up about it, but I chose to keep going with it. Tanya was clever, witty, and compassionate. Our evening conversations evolved into sending texts throughout the day. I desperately wanted to FaceTime her, but I was afraid to show her exactly what I look like. She never brought it up, so neither did I. We just continued with our messages and texts and the occasional sharing of pictures. With every new picture she shared, I felt more alive and more connected to her. I started looking forward to her texts every day. No matter how awful my day was at work, I knew I had this relationship to look forward to. Eventually, our relationship became physical. Well, as physical as it can be online. She started things off by sending me sultry pictures. It continued from there, and we eventually were having more and more intimate phone conversations several times a week. Say what you will about online relationships, but to me, this one felt real. It felt right. One day, she asked me if I'd like to meet. I remember writing back to her, like, in person? She sent back a laughing emoji and said, of course. Then she sent me a picture of her in lingerie and said that she'd be wearing it. I went crazy. We decided on a place. It was a hotel a few miles away from my house. Even though I felt like I knew Tanya, I wanted to be careful. Plus, I kind of live with my parents, so bringing her over just wouldn't work. She said the same thing about her living situation anyways. So, we found a spot and planned to meet later that night. I showered, got ready, and dressed to impress. I also bought her some flowers. I headed over to the hotel a little bit before the time we agreed to meet. I parked across the street and then waited for her to show up. Part of me wondered if she would actually keep her word. Then, I saw a car pull up, so I slowly walked across the street. At first, I didn't understand what I was seeing. It made me pause. I quickly ducked behind another car in the parking lot. Immediately, something felt wrong. The car was full of people. One girl and 2 men with her. They all got out of the car and headed upstairs to a hotel room. Their hands were full of bags. One of the men was even wearing a Michael Myers mask on his head. And that's when I saw her. It was Tanya. But it wasn't Tanya. She sat in the driver's seat and stared down. Moments later, my phone buzzed. "I'm here, sweetie. Where are you?" "I'm almost there," I replied. Tanya wasn't Tanya. At least, not the girl from the pictures. She was much older. I could see her wrinkles from where I was crouched. She was wearing all black, including black leather gloves. "I'm getting a room," she said. "Just meet me upstairs, okay?" I watched her get out of the car. She took out a large bag and a baseball bat, and then went into the room next to her friends. I took a deep breath and walked back to my car. She messaged me again. Are you almost here? I can't wait to meet you." I turned my phone off and drove away. I don't know what would have happened, of course, but when you message someone online, you never can be sure who they really are. Thinking about this situation makes me sick and afraid. You would think by 2017, we'd have learned our lesson, but I guess I didn't. So just try to be careful out there, okay?